Also big tonight, CARICOM heads of government say they are closely monitoring developments in Haiti after the country's transitional presidential council stepped down at the end of its 2-year tenure, handing governing responsibility to Prime Minister Didier Fils-Aimé and the Council of Ministers. In a statement issued Tuesday from the CARICOM Secretariat in Guyana, regional leaders said the new governing arrangement is expected to be a short interim period focused on improving security, advancing preparations for national elections, and supporting Haiti's social and economic recovery. The regional bloc stressed the urgent need for a stable political process in Haiti, but reiterated that any path forward must remain Haitian-led and Haitian-owned. Heads of government said they are looking forward to early engagement with Fils-Aimé at the 50th regional meeting of the CARICOM Conference of Heads of Government, scheduled for February 24 to 27 in St. Kitts and Nevis. The Organization of American States, OAS, has reaffirmed its commitment to supporting Haiti as the country enters the next phase of its transition toward an elected government amid ongoing security challenges. In a statement, the OAS General Secretariat said it is backing efforts aimed at stabilizing the nation and preparing for national elections following recent consultations and developments in Haiti's transitional leadership. According to the OAS, this interim phase will prioritize improving the security environment and advancing preparations for national elections in line with the published electoral calendar. The OAS stressed that progress on security remains central to Haiti's path forward, warning that gang leaders and those supporting them must not be allowed to undermine national stability. St. Vincent and the Grenadines opposition leader Ralph Gonsalves said the United States has warned the new government against launching a Citizenship by Investment (CBI) program and switching diplomatic ties from Taiwan to China. Gonsalves called both moves risky for national security and economic stability.
The Americans have told the NDP administration, it is your sovereign decision if you want to go from Taiwan to China. It is your sovereign decision if you want to go and sell passports, do CBI. But we want to advise you. We want to advise you that we'd prefer if you do not do either of those things.
Speaking during the 2026 budget debate on Tuesday, Gonsalves spoke of the security risks and warned that these actions could destabilize the country's financial system and damage relations with major international powers.
The people in Europe, the people in America, the people in Britain tell you that we are fed up now with this thing. It's no longer a regulatory issue, it's no longer a management issue. It is inherently a security risk for them.
Gonsalves likened the CBI revenue to cocaine, warning the country could become addicted and face a balance of payments crisis if funds dry up, potentially triggering currency devaluation, inflation, and capital flight.
If you don't have enough foreign currency coming in, two things have to happen. You have to withdraw some dollars, some EC dollars, which means that you're going to curtail economic activity, which means that you're going to create unemployment and hardship for the poor and everybody else. Or you will have to move the real effective exchange rate from 270 to 1 to a number higher. That is called devaluation. And what that does, creates inflation. It would create flight of capital. And you get into a spiral like Jamaica, which is difficult for them to get out of.
He also warned that closer ties to China could create financial dependency and trigger loan calluses, allowing Taiwan-linked creditors to demand immediate repayment, calling efforts to court China while appeasing Washington risky, reckless business with grave consequences.
All that I'm saying, that a material change in the circumstance would mean if you change your relations. and go to mainland China. So if at that point $800 million is disbursed, and it is likely to be the case when you build out the hospital and one or two other smaller ones, China will pay you the $300 million US, 800 million EC, and then tell you, sorry, partner, that is about it, and what you get thereafter is little dribs and drabs. It ain't worth it. And I said at the time that you who want to go to mainland China, this is a hook in your gill.
Guyana's opposition leader Azruddin Mohammed is again alleging political persecution after the police there searched one of his businesses. Mohammed, a well-known gold trader, was present during the search of Mohammed's enterprise on Lambord Street. The police also escorted several employees for questioning. The opposition leader also accused the police of victimization, saying the government had already shut down his business. Mohammed called on police to search the headquarters of the ruling PPPC party, claiming he had donated hundreds of millions of dollars to them. He said police confirmed no gold was found and that officers seized only a small amount of cash he said was intended for charitable assistance. The IMF says Trinidad and Tobago's economy is gradually recovering but faces headwinds from weak energy growth, rising public debt, and persistent foreign exchange shortages. In its 2026 review, the fund said activity has returned to near pre-pandemic levels, driven by manufacturing and services, while oil and gas production remains a drag. It said inflation and unemployment are low, banks are stable, lending is growing, and foreign reserves cover more than 6 months of imports. According to the IMF, growth is expected to remain modest at 0.7% in 2026, before strengthening to nearly 3% in 2027 and 3.5% in 2028 as new energy projects come online. However, the IMF warned that delays in energy projects, lower output, forex shortages, and global financial uncertainty could weigh on growth, while higher energy prices or faster reforms could boost the outlook. This is Primetime Caribbean.